Welcome back. We are testing out. The day I change out this chair is gonna be a good day. We are testing out a new recording app, and so far it's so good. We'll see how we go. It is called Record It, and yeah, it doesn't seem to have any of that nonsense around and a million different ads and all that. So it seems to be legit, and we'll see how we go. Doing a test run. Let's give it a crack. And we shall know when we finish how it goes. Alright, seems to be recording. And we're gonna switch over to here. The key thing, I've been thinking about the past episodes and how I would like to structure them moving forward. And I've been looking at this one, and I think the main concept here is timing, and allowing like two folds, like timing and space. And you need to let things breathe from time to time, not just kicks in one and then quickly out and bring back the low end in the next one, and then for an hour or so or 2 hours just constantly have this pulsating kick going through, and somehow that's like that keeps the pulse. That's nonsense. You can break those rules and use the low end, use the kick, use that information as the reward for allowing your audience to be patient with you. And it's okay to have space and time things out. And let me break down what I mean, okay? Okay. First thing, using the effects, cue points, using the beat, sort of doubles and jumps, etc., whatever you want to call them, musically. We're using them musically. So we're listening to the song. So it's quite aggressive. I mean, it's not super aggressive, but in the sort of progressive trance genre, it is a little more of an aggressive piece. So you notice how we put in the effect right at the end of the doubling that we're creating. So we've created the sense of urgency, and then we're putting in the effect. We're not just randomly putting it all together. We're doing it creatively. We're doing it musically with the song. You see how we're carrying that tail across, but we're allowing it to breathe more, to bring that audience in. Imagine you're on a ledge or something like that, and you're leaping forward. You're just looking over the edge, and just before you're about to, you're going for that free dive. Just as about you go for free dive, someone pulls you back in. That's what I'm imagining. Now, how long do these sort of changes need to be? Well, that's something that you need to just judge um, for yourself. Whether that be 2 bars, 4 bars, 8 bars, 16 bars, if you can drag it out that long. These things need to be adjusted, and they need to be adjusted to how you're vibing with it, how you feel the audience is reacting, how you feel the mix is going. That all depends on how long you can push it for. Because remember, in these situations, like we talked about before, the audience is with you, right? They're willing to give you a shot now because we're quite deep into the mix, right? We're not at the beginning anymore. We're nearing the end, and the audience, and you yourself, and in general, the mix can be a lot more forgiving because you've you're comfortable now. You've done sort of the main stuff, and now we're building back up to that crescendo, so you can have more freedom to experiment and push things out a little bit. And this is the time I feel where you can be the most creative, because you're the most relaxed. All that nervous energy is out, and you're almost there. Cool. Okay, cool. Um, just so I know myself, make sure you cut that bit out. See how at least for me, I find how impactful that moment is. It's almost like, okay, are we done? And then everyone thinks, you've pushed it just a little bit more, and everyone's like, oh, okay, I think we're done. And then all of a sudden you bring it back in. And it's just so much more impactful. And if you want to be, um, you know, I guess, from an engineering perspective, it's to do with how much dynamic range you have there, because you're allowing it to become very, very quiet, and then you're bringing it back in. That's why some of the greatest new transitions and new drops are so impactful, because they're a certain amount louder than the rest of the song, um, and you can use that to your advantage. And this is when I come back to, this is what I mean by having, the timing and the space, allowing the space to have this dynamic range, to allow for the quiet moments to be quiet, and to have space to have the loud moments. If you're constantly just cramming everything in, you can you can almost wear out the people that are listening to you, because there isn't enough of variety going on. And we're into a part where we were looking at more of that sort of cyberpunk stuff. We look at, some of the stuff that I do in the Cyberpunk Utopia series, and in some of the blogs that I've written for Cyberpunk Utopia, I discussed this concept of, allowing, it's not a concept, but just the music, the musical content, that when, there's a lot happening, so your your ability to play around with effects and detune things is a lot more forgiving, because there's so much going on, and it's aggressive, and it's already, full on. So your ability to, detune things and manually, change things up, to add effects, it only complements things. And not only that, but being able to switch between things, doing fast mixing, you know, really, just being creative about things and having your own sort of, vinyl scratches, etc. You can really complement the mix very well because it's just that type of music. Okay, cool. So you notice we're turning on that flip functions like we talked about. This allows you to use your cue points, and you're not automatically reverted to those cue points. It basically ignores what you selected, but then it plays them but then it continues playing from where you are. So the track will continue, it won't stop, but you can have add these your cue points in as sort of like shout outs. So you can go like, hey, and then it just continues progresses through your song. It doesn't switch to that cue point. Okay, so we've allowed the track to breathe, breathing in, allowing time for because there's a lot of stuff happening here, and now we can add stuff into the build. For me to switch over to such a track, there's already a lot happening. There's a lot of information. For me to on top of that add stuff straight away, it's gonna be too much. It's gonna be just too much. And as we're going, we'll just find these pockets where we can add something fun and something to spice things up. Challenging transition, because we're basically slicing up, ripping apart. It was almost an effect where we're trying to sort of cut the one up that we're playing and bring in the other one. Almost you want to do both of them at the same time to make it even more smoother. But here we're only having the one and we're bringing up the next track. But you can see there is a quite challenging of a transition to do, and that's because we are playing with quite a obvious effect. It's not something that's quite subtle. But the one thing I like about it is it does sort of drop you into that deep end. If we are looking back at this analogy of that free diver, we're sort of now let them go for the free dive. We'll sort of let them go, and now they're just just or like a cliff jump or something like that. So we'll let them jump off the cliff, or they're holding their breath and now they're free diving down, going deep into the ocean. We haven't pulled them out. Now we're just sinking down. And here, well, it's almost like I don't know my own song. We're like, yeah, here it comes. And then I'm like, oops, my bad. And that's not where it is. So like I haven't listened to it like 1,000 times. Must be the Ghost Rider. Even the iPad's like, what? Just a bit of fun there. Cool. You see how, obviously, double happiness there is, it's quite a, in some moments there's a good amount of information. There's a lot of things happening, a lot of different layers, and some of the effects can be quite confronting. But finding pieces before and after. Let me just double check. Cool. Finding pieces before and after that can complement your music well is key here. So before just instead of just randomly dropping into your song, and instead of just dropping into double happiness just randomly, we're just smoothing things out and allowing something beforehand that's going to complement the piece that I've made. So we've allowed the audience to have a bit of a warm up with something that's that is different to what we've been playing before. There's a lot of things happening. It's a bit of a quirky sort of piece, and then that allows us then to go comfortably into your song, and it's not a complete shock and a huge change, tempo-wise and musically, what's happening in the mix. And you'll notice, again, if you listen to it and from that ear, from that training of the ear, we have more aggressive sounds. And we have that sort of lower, almost you have the lower range distortion, coming throughout. So you have it in the beginning, then you have it going through that lower bass, mid-tempo bass coming through, and all glues itself together to help support itself. Notice how so we have the lead sound, but then we also have the bass, it's almost doing its own thing. Then you have the snares, you have the kicks. So and then you have quite a good amount of change. It's not continuous. It's stopping, it's going, stopping, it's going. Change the break. it's creating this uncertainty and something different in the mix for us. And fantastic. So let's stop it there. So if we go back to this sort of free diving analogy, or the cliff dive, you know, where we are sort of top of the cliff and we are looking to jump off. Imagine yourself in that situation, and the anxiety, the tension you might have, there's the nervousness of having to do something like that, and when I look at when I listen to this part of the mix, that's also that's an aspect where we're creating in this part of the mix. We are creating that uncertainty, that tension. We are creating something that's a bit off kilter from the groove. It's a bit unusual. We've just finished off from a aggressive sort of trance sort of moment, and we're switching into something that's a little more mid-tempo bass. A bit of dub in there, a bit of some more um, you know, post dubstep. There's a few, a range of different, things happening, and that creates, um, that uncertainty, and you can always imagine you're about to hold a breath and you're about to go down, and for that free dive, and you're not sure, about it, but you go anyway, and then we're just going and we're allowing the journey to progress, and we're almost allowing ourselves to jump and trust ourselves that we will, come back safely. Um, and that's something that you can, again, we are looking at music, from less of a face value. We are adding in some philosophical, thinking into it. We are looking at from a different perspective, adding dimensionality to the mix, allowing a story to be created, not just song, but we're choosing the particular songs for particular purpose, and we're combining them to create, um, these textures, and adding these different shades of colors, into the mix, and creating, something that I feel that people can relate to, because it's a mix that's about more than just oh, let's just have a party, have a good time. It goes deeper than that. It's almost um, it's a journey through our own lives. And I don't want to get too crazy into all that, but yeah. So just looking at mix from a deeper perspective and seeing what you can create there, that's key, and allowing space there when needed to create this space for dynamic range. So you have the loud moments, but you also have the quiet moments, and allows things to be a little more aggressive, a little more off kilter, and how long you decide for those moments to be. Well, that's it all depends on how much tension you want to create. How much, or how the where you want the story to be taken, and then you can say, okay, 2 bars, 4 bars, or maybe 6 bars. Make it, if you do it at 5 bars, if you time it out, you do 3 bars, something like that. That can also create a little bit of extra tension because it's off the standard sort of fall to the floor vibe. These are all things that you can incorporate, that might not seem like a big deal, but we listen to music because of the feeling that it gives us. And you are taking your audience on a musical journey like this, doing some of those small little things have a huge impact on what people feel from the mix, how you react and vibe with the mix. So there you go. Very, very, very important for developing your mixing skills, timing, and space. I'll catch you on the next one. This one's been a little more philosophical than I thought it was going to be, but anyway, some good analogies and some things to take away that I feel that could help. Okay, I'll catch you next one.